Welcome back, and for the final time, we will be breaching into the first map. This time it's Liquid against Cloud9 in the grand finals. I'm joined by Dust, and Dust, we're into the pistol, bro.
Indeed we are. Let's do the roster run right now. For Liquid, it is Nitro, JDM, Pimp, Elige, and Hiko. Then, of course, for Cloud9, it is Stewie, 2K, Automatic, Skadoodle, Shroud, and Nothing. And as we see, Cloud9 seem to be setting up with this bomb over towards the B side of the map. Shroud and Nothing in the apartments, as Shroud now begins to dip into the underpass just to make sure there's no aggression coming in from Liquid. Stewie lurking over towards the A bomb site. Automatic, Skadoodle just waiting for mid pushes. So, you know, pretty passive setup here, just making sure that Liquid aren't trying to get a little bit greedy for information or picks as they stage up for something here soon.
I'm smoking a couple flashes for Skadoodle, as Cloud9 will be just waiting outside of B. Very much a passive approach, no fast shenanigans today. Liquid, in the meanwhile, pretty much filtering across the board. No one out in an unorthodox position. Fairly standard stuff for both teams. So just taking on board with Nothing as he's waiting, hoping that Hiko walks into his crosshair, and a bit slow to react to that one. Hiko's not going to get taken down just yet. There's the first frag, and he's going to be able to reload and then recuperate. Nope. The cavalry charges through, rips him to shreds, and that will be Cloud9 now getting a grasp onto the bomb that we planted momentarily.
And the bomb is in fact down. He had 3 players staged up in the market and 1 trying to retake from Catwalk. That is going to be Pimp. Shroud is making sure no one's flanking the upper B apartments. They don't have any utility to press in here, so eventually they're just going to have to try to jump in and try to win some aim duels.
Nice shot, Nitro, though. Quickly shifting his attention towards the site itself. It's now a 3-on-2. Make that a 2-on-2 with Shroud and Pimp exchange frags, leaving Nitro to push onto the site itself. Shroud behind the van, and Pimp is actually going to take down Skadoodle, who then gets taken down himself. So, 1 versus 1, Pimp against Shroud, all on this. Pimp charging round the corner, tagging up Shroud here, there, and everywhere. Shroud jumping out himself, but will get picked off. Is there enough time? It doesn't look like it. So, Cloud9 will lose all 5 players, but win the round regardless. And Pimp's 3 kills, not quite enough.
And then he picked up a Glock, which he didn't even want. I guess he thought maybe it was a P250 or something, so he'll just get the USP replenished. You can see a bit of a frustration there. As Shroud's been hitting a couple of clutches. He had a couple on overpass on the B-bomb side against Immortals in the semifinals, and he seems to carry it over there, at least, you know, killing the clock. Maybe not getting the kill, but it's a round win nonetheless for C9. The good B execute there. And we will see them go ahead and upgrade up. But we also see Liquid with a pretty big force buy here. You're going to see Nitro and Pimp both with scouts and upgraded pistols on everyone else. We're seeing them do this a ton in the Optic series. They're going for these double scout setups. Normally it was Elige using one of them, but it's going to be Pimp and Nitro this time. We are going to see Cloud9 going for a rather heavy execute with Automatic just lurking alone. Just one of these 1-4 executes.
Oh, Stewie throwing down the grenade, and he will be up his way to the CT. It's going to be the UMP in the hands of JDM. There's Nothing, chimes in for a frag on the lead. JDM now lurking in the shadows just below balcony. And the terrorists, Cloud9, thinking better of this decision. They're going to be backing away for now, but actually thinking twice about this, Dust. I could hear that.
Yeah, Automatic has such a good little position here that he can kind of just hear everything, right? You know, you can kind of tell what the rotations are doing. You can keep an eye on things. Maybe he gets a pick and opens A up, but if he can't and he gets the right information, they can shuffle that bomb back around someplace else. So they're just waiting for Automatic to develop the play. He's the key guy here.
Well, Skadoodle has picked himself up a scout frag in amongst all of the action, so that's definitely going to alleviate some of the pressure that was falling on Automatic shoulders. No longer is it all down to him. JDM's good for a frag, gets traded out instantly afterwards from the aforementioned Automatic. And his AK-47, Hiko's jump scout could be an absolute nightmare for Cloud9. As he, on CT boxes, is trying to make something out of Nothing. First frag goes his way on the already wounded Nothing. But his partner in crime has already been picked off. There were 2 scouts in play for Liquid, now just the 1. But Automatic and Skadoodle have the bomb planted for themselves. And it's very unlikely Hiko gets anything done from this situation. First frag goes his way, though. Surely not Hiko. He tries to get the no-scope. That would have been disgusting gameplay, but instead, Liquid concede a second round.
Yeah, it's every time you see Hiko in a situation like that, even if with any other man you would suspect they don't have a chance in hell, somehow he makes you think, all right, maybe he's just going to get this one. Not quite, though. Heavy investment from Liquid there, which means it's going to set them back this round. They're going to have to take a save here for sure. And it also kind of hurts when they're opening gun round, maybe just a bit. Maybe if you want to go double op right away with Pimp and JDM, you can't quite afford that anymore. So there is a bit of a sacrifice, but they did do a lot of damage to Cloud9, right? They forced everyone to rebuy on that team. So they certainly, you know, stopped them from saving up a bunch of cash for later on. As we see yet another 1-4 setup from Cloud9. They love to do these little 1-4 plays with Automatic or Stewie playing solo roles and everyone else just gathered up for a heavy execute. And they're going to do it once more on a pretty light V-bomb side. Only Pimp is here, and he's going to go down very rapidly. And so this is pretty much already a done deal.
Yeah, very low investment into the round for Liquid, so her best hope maybe a couple of frags, not much else. Bomb planted. Now pretty much sums this round up. Hiko is going to get at least a kill before he drops, so at least that gives him a little bit of more money to play with into round number 4. But as you called, it could be a little bit of a scarce buy. We'll just have to wait and see. Automatic, Mac 10, but Nitro will jump on top of him with the USP. That grenade has damage written all over it as JDM goes down to 12 and actually tagging up Stewie2K through the smoke. So Cloud9 have quite a few casualties. Liquid could very well hold them to Mac 10. I would say, though, in a full rifle round, it's not the greatest of weapons.
Yeah, the big thing here is that Cloud9 actually held onto the AKs just fine. Or at least so far. Yeah, Skittle, never mind. He's not going to give it up. So, yeah, they will get both AKs in. So that's the main guns that they were concerned with. As they will take yet another round here. So 3-0 start for Cloud9. But these rounds have been close. So the score's a little bit deceiving. Like, two of these rounds have come down to 1v1 type situations. So going to be interesting to see how the gun rounds play out now. JDM going to have the op in his hand. Shroud holding on to an op. No op for the Cloud9 side just yet, so Skadoodle will just be on the rifle.
No kits, by the way, Dust. CTs. Absolutely none. Could be a bit of a worrying trend. Also, 4 players without head armor, so that UMP could shred. Shroud looking to go in first with the expendable weapon. Just going to land in his face. He's trying to make the most of this walk, but there's Eco. Plays flat range execution frag. Lands a second as well. Here come the flashes. Trying to force him off the site into the embracing arms of Stewie. And his AK will rip through him. Nothing is good for a kill, but Cloud9 still trail by a player. Liquid desperate to get themselves on the scoreboard. And there is Elige taking them one step closer to that goal. Skadoodle on short. His full health. Can he pull off a huge 1v3? The players could effectively go into 3 separate 1v1s if they're not careful. As Elige is out by himself, he's going to get picked off. Skadoodle probably doesn't expect the second player to be in kitchen. JDM's about to peek, and right now it just about gets him before his shoulder goes past on towards bench. Liquid finally get their first round.
On the one hand, that was kind of cool to see because Shroud was actually the first man out. So that's one of the things that Cloud9 have done now that Automatic's on the team is it's freed up Shroud to maybe be a little bit more active and executes, but it just didn't matter. Hiko just shuts it down. The 2 opening kills come from him, and then you had JDM, Pimp, and Elige all chime in for frags themselves, so almost a complete team effort to put a stop to Cloud9, who now will have to take a save. Just some P250s in play, just trying to storm the front at middle. Elige and Window going to get nade stacked down, but he does take one with him. Still going to be difficult, though, for Cloud9 to do much here with just some P250s and only 1 smoke in Skadoodle's hands.
Yeah, the M4 for Stewie is going to have to be the power play. It's going to have to be a difference maker, and it's not going to happen. Instantly down by Nitro. 3 pistols, all that stands between Liquid and a second round, keeping all 4 players alive. Do the world of good to their bank balance. But judging from where the bomb is going right now, it looks like it's going to be the connector push. And with Nitro in ramp and JDM at CT boxes, it's hard to see how Cloud9 can force onto this, especially as nothing's just got picked off around the back. So even short, there's a perfect triangle of death awaiting the terrorist. JDM's going to lock himself down the frag onto automatic, leaving Skadoodle with the arduous task of the bomb in his hands of trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9's really only hope was to make that M4 have an impact on the round. Stewie, of course, gets caught by Nitro pretty quickly after finding it, and then Automatic goes for it, but gets caught by JDM, who had plenty of game sense to kind of feel out the situation. So it's going to come to a screeching halt here for Cloud9. The winning streak is now over, and Liquid are starting to build up their own. It's 2-3. Cloud9, though, onto a full buy. It's going to have the op for the first time, though Automatic is going to be a little bit limited with that ump. And it looks like, again, they want to go for one of these 1-4 types of splits with Stewie soloing out mid. Shroud assisting him a tad, but now he'll gather back up with his team. So they really want to make these aggressive executes work. And they will catch Hiko alone inside the B-bomb site right now, because Pimp's actually over towards window 1 because JDM's off cat with the op. So maybe they can catch something here.
JDM has caught something. That's going to be Stewie. The push is imminent. JDM with a second frag, looking for a third one. And he will land it. Beautiful solo effort from the AWP of Team Liquid. Finally gets traded out by Skadoodle, but has the damage already been inflicted? FAMAS and 2M4s play AWP and AK, but Skadoodle has the AWP at close range. This could be an issue. If he misses a shot, he's probably a dead man, but of course he's not going to miss that one. On to Pimp, 2-on-2 now, as Elige forcing his way through short. Hasn't been spotted just yet. Nothing tickles the bomb to try and get some CTs out into the open, and he is certainly successful in that endeavour. Nitro now, 1-on-2. Got 3 kills so far in this round. He's going to have to significantly boost that statistic. Waiting for someone to maybe push towards the van so he can get a free frag and bring it back onto 1-on-1. Skadoodle playing fairly passively on the bench so far. Oh, he's just spotted himself. The shoulder and the head, and will convert that into the frag. And now it's all or nothing, and he will spray down with the AK. And Cloud9 taking 2-round lead once more, 4-2.
Yeah, so despite the fact that JDM had a monster round, they're getting the initial mid pick, then falling back through Cat and getting 2 picks on the upper B apartments. You can't really ask for much more out of them. It didn't matter. Skadoodle and Nothing play out that 2v3 situation so well. Got to give credit to Skadoodle, particularly for hitting some of those close-range op shots to give his team a chance to get the bomb down, and they wind up closing it out. And so Liquid are just going to be with upgraded pistols here. Small armor on Nitro and Pimp. They're going to stack this A bomb site and hope that Cloud9 will maybe fall into the trap. They have quite the setup here, actually, on the balcony where Elige and Nitro can kind of bait off one another. And this actually might work out because there's 3 coming out of Palace. But no, they deal with that really easily.
Yeah, pretty brisk cleanup. Liquid's continue, and we spoke about how powerful and potent they've been on Mirage lately. But this start certainly isn't giving too much confidence. Still early days, though, of course. They can turn this away from a potential wreckage. And they will have a buy in this round if they so choose it. We'll put Elige onto a FAMAS, however, so far from ideal. And an AWP should be in play. Yep, drop from Hiko for JDM. So, Liquid have a decent enough buy, but they've got to start to convert some of these rounds. Getting close isn't good enough anymore.
Yeah, so they're actually going to go to their true default now, which will be Shroud coming under past Skadoodle, automatic top mid, Stewie outside A. So this is about as default as it gets. We are going to see Shroud trying to see if maybe he can't catch a pick at someone on window room, but no one's actually going to be there. JDM has actually taken a gun over towards upper B with the op that moves Pimp actually over towards the A side of the map by jungle. So basically mid has been conceded by Team Liquid. That means Automatic's going to try to work into connector and see if he can't find something. So an A split seems to be what they want to do. Nothing will try to throw a fake, but he gets caught so early by JDM, which means no rotations can be caused.
A quick reaction speed will knock down Cloud9 a peg or 2. So first blood drawn from Liquid, desperately required it. Stewie is going to bounce back with a frag, and automatic partially through the smoke. It's the spray down. Shroud, in the blink of an eye, just turns this round back in favour of Cloud9. They only have the 1-player advantage, but that should be, considering their position, more than good enough. JDM gets picked off. I'm not expecting Automatic to be holding the closer angle. And Automatic going in to try and finish off as he could smell the blood in the water. That being said, though, Hiko in a clutch. We've seen him do this so many times, but Skadoodle has his sights trained onto CT boxes, and Hiko will get nothing from this move. So, solid round. Cloud9 now 6-2 in the lead.
Yeah, and so just despite the early pick from JDM to kick things off, Cloud9 were quick to equalize, and from that point forward, they always stayed a man ahead. So just being a little bit more efficient on the trading than Liquid lately. So now they're going to go up 6-2, and Liquid again forced to save. Their economy's been reset once already this half, so that's really kind of set them back. They've never been able to afford the double op, for example, something they'd really love to do with Pimp and JDM on the CT side of this map. Maybe that's something they can go to later once they save up the funds. But for now, Cloud9 will just open default once more. And just kind of play it slow. We get a little bit of aggression from Liquid here on the A ramp, so maybe JDM will get a little bit of info out of this.
Yep. Makes sense as well, because they just have pistols. You kind of forced into something a little bit more out of the ordinary, so you can catch the terrorists off guard. If you play standard against Cloud9, especially if they've been playing, they'll rip you to pieces. Pimp, be holding the angle with the P250, does spot Shroud, but that flashbang wrecks him. Bit of damage has been inflicted to the terrorists as they walk through their own carpet of fire, but it's not going to matter because Automatic once again is on point with his entry frags. 3 in quick succession. Stewie 2K will keep him alive and kicking for now, and JDM has managed to sneak his way through into BS, but he's only got a USP. So his days surely numbered as he will back away. Question really is who's going to get this last frag. JDM has nothing to save. He's going to be going back towards T-spawn. Maybe even using this chance, by the way, will Liquid to just have a quick collective decision as to what's going wrong. Maybe a couple of things that can change up, because, you know, the USP is not going to do anything in round number 10.
Right.
Maybe just rack your brains together, like, where do we plug the gaps here, boys?
Yeah, it definitely gives you a little bit of an extended talking period, I'm sure, because Cloud9's been really dominating this half. I mean, you did see Liquid win the opening gun round, which did a little bit of a damper on Cloud9's economy, but as soon as they got their money back in order, they've been on what will now be a 4-round winning streak. So they definitely, you know, found their footing in this map. You're seeing good performances come out of pretty much everyone over there on the Cloud9 side. Meanwhile, the Nitro Elige combo that this team's been so well known for, having a bit of a slow start here thus far. JDM's been pretty brilliant with the op, and Hiko's had a couple of big plays at B, but otherwise they've been misstepping a little bit, and they do in fact get that double op in play on Pimp and JDM. So Pimp will take his over towards upper B, JDM on the A site, and it's going to be a quick execute from Cloud9. They're not hesitating whatsoever.
Yeah, looking for the fast hit as fast as they can. Look at Nitro, just double spray down with the M4, pretty much cutting out the knees from this aggression. And Cloud9 face planting to the ground. His flashes and molly though is going to cause serious issues for Nitro's position, as he gave it away with a double frag earlier on. JDM is now burning to a crisp, down to 10 health he goes. Cloud9 actually have a glimmer of hope, which looked so unlikely after the double frag came to fruition. Hiko in connector, actually in a pretty solid position right now. He's not out in the open on stairs, potential to get picked off, so he can bide his time and wait and try and get around the back of them.
Yeah, really good Molotov used to push JDM back and allow Skadoodle to get out of Palace with the op. He was kind of trapped in there, and so as you noted, this gives Cloud9 maybe a chance to pick something up. Right now, they have so much time. They want to see if someone from Liquid's going to jump the gun. Are they someone going to try to flank them, try to push, try to force the issue? Can they get a free kill to put this back into a 2-on-2? Problem is, how are they ever supposed to plant? They have no smokes. So anytime they try to go for a plant, it's so hard to do when there's literally no coverage for him. He's going to get peeked right away, it seems like, so it's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good, does it? 24 seconds to play with. Cloud9 pushing through onto the site. Skadoodle's landed the frag onto JDM, though. And with the bomb getting planted, now all the pressure quickly shifts across the Liquid. Pimp without armor is going to be very much vulnerable unless he can get the pick on the cross, and Shroud could be the man to gift wrap him that opportunity. Grenade goes through, bouncing off the box. It's going to actually negate quite a lot of the damage that was going on to Shroud. And right now, Cloud9 are just playing this one perfectly. They realize the bomb's planted. There's no great impetus for them to try and force their way into some frags. It's all on Liquid. They have to go in for this one. Skadoodle could end up getting picked off. He goes through the smoke. He's got the first frag. And there's Pimp through the box. Did they have enough time to get the defuse? They've got no kit.
No.
Oh, heartbreaking for Liquid. They did the hard work, but they're just not in time.
Yeah, Cloud9 goes for the perfect plant, the only plant that could work, where Skadoodle just has to cover CT spawn for Shroud, doesn't have to worry about multiplying, just to worry about that one kill, and he gets it. So Skadoodle, really the key kill to make sure that bomb goes down, and at that point, the only thing that Liquid can hope for is that Pimp somehow spams Shroud through the box after the plant and gets it into a 2 versus 1, but none of those shots really connected. Shroud stays alive in the site boxes the entire time, and Liquid, they just waited out for so long. Pimp so, you know, just trying to be maybe overly patient on Cat with that op in a situation where you have no kits. Just too much clock got burned and all of that. And so Cloud9 now up 8-2. Double op still in play for Liquid, but it's at the cost of Nitro with just a max 7 and a Liege with only a FAMAS. So they can certainly maybe put these ops to work. Pimp with his in the market. JDM once again playing towards the A site. But this time Cloud9's going to slow it on down. They're going to go into more of a default setup. Way passive on mid. Not going to show their hand to Liquid right off the bat.
Yeah, as you say, you're slowing it right down to almost a stall at this point. And other than JDM, who's on 11 for 7, who is top fragging on both sides, even though his team trailed 2-8, there's not been a great deal of stuff to shout about for Liquid. Hiko's been, by and large, I wouldn't say absent. He's been pulling his weight, but he's been struggling. He's not been able to really tee off on too many opportunities. Typically, he's been in clutches or massive deficits. Double AWP in play with the mag 7. Here comes the pop for nothing, just making sure no one comes up around. Actually wrecked Shroud. So Shroud gets a face full of flashbang. I'm sure he appreciates that. And here comes the play. The smokes, the flashes, the kitchen sink being tossed at Team Liquid, but JDM's already picked up one. Very nearly got a 2-for-1 shot there. It was super close. Maybe even tagged up Skadoodle through the first player. Automatic once again, though, just comes out swinging with 2 frags. That's absolutely massive for Cloud9, keeping their dreams alive. But there's Pimp from short, double frag for him. And Liquid have got their 3rd round, and their 1st round in 5.
That's just JDM playing really bold right there. He just pushes in front of that smoke that was thrown at CT spawn and just dances around the box and finds a couple of kills, stalls out Liquid. Nitro gets control of Palace, which even becomes a bigger thorn in Cloud9's side and all of that. And so they can't get it done. Now there's a triple hop set up here from Team Liquid. I think this might have been an accident. Maybe they accidentally picked up an extra op or something like that, but we'll see if they can put it to use. Certainly would affect their mobility on retakes, but if they can get some shots early on in the round, it perhaps won't matter, as Pimp will have his at upper B, JDM covering middle, and then Nitro has his at the A bomb site. So they have pretty much all lanes covered with scoped weapons here, as again Cloud9 work control of middle from their default. Bomb on Skadoodle, going to be taking it through T-spawn to A, so it seems like they want to split. They're actually going to do a window boost here.
Trying to catch Liquid unawares, but what they don't realize is JDM is waiting for this. He's even got the right angle for it. He's having second thoughts now, looking into the ladder room, but if he keeps his scope trained here and they try and push in, I assume that a flashbang will accompany it. They won't just go in raw. If they do, JDM should have easy pickings.
And he certainly already had that happen a couple of times where they didn't smoke him out and he just kind of had free reign with the op over towards the A-bomb site. Now here at middle, he's just waiting for this. He's like, yeah, sure, please boost in the window room. I would love for you to do that.
That's ultimately the dream right now. And there we go. JDM will get the better of automatic. Patience proving to be a virtue. Nothing and Shroud both chime in for frags, but they still trail by a player. Albeit with Hiko and a Mag 7 who is rapidly trying to rotate his way through CT spawn. That flashbang perfectly timed actually, as Nitro would have had the pick onto Skadoodle, I believe it was. It is now Skadoodle and Shroud who have a 2-on-3 retake to try and defend against. The flashbang coming in, blind Skadoodle's going to give his position away as a result. Just firing off the off chance that the CT push that one straight away. Skadoodle misses his second opportunity. But is it going to prove to be costly? Here comes the incendiary landing on the boxes. It's not going to dismay the CTs actually. It's not spread up the boxes. So Shroud's just fine standing there. However, he will get picked off. And then he go around the corner with the USP, lands the headshot. And with the kit, they are going to have this defuse. So heartbreak last time around. This time they're okay. That being said though, Cloud9, whatever happens, will still be in the lead when the second half comes around.
Certainly will, and it's finally Liquid winning one of these situationals. I mean, we've seen a lot of these 2v3 type rounds that it seems like Cloud9 were always getting the better end of those. Several rounds played out like that, but finally Liquid gets one for themselves. So it will be 4-8. They had the double op in play. They have Cloud9 on a bit of a quasi-buy, I guess you'd say. They'll have plenty of money to buy in the next round, but putting a little bit of investment into this one. And it looks like they are going to gather up most of their forces over here towards the B side of the map, though Shroud is kind of holding at A and automatic at the back of middle. Maybe perhaps going to throw some type of fake from upper B and just run from underpass to connector. But they didn't really have any smokes thrown on B, so I guess just trying to see if they can't flood their way in through.
Shu2K pushing the smoke, who would have guessed? Although, in this round, there's a lot of times when he's playing it, to be fair. It does make sense. Wants to get as much control as possible, get as much real estate. However, this is going to prove to send him a one-way trip to the graveyards, and he'll not be coming back anytime soon. Alige in the window, has 2 players pushing him again, but Cloud9 have done this a couple of times, and he very intelligently just backs away. He realizes that giving up the situation rather than losing his life is very useful for his team, because now he can pose a threat round the back of them. They have to keep half the mind towards the CT side. Now nothing is forced out into the open, and Team Liquid with a flawless round, keeping all 5 players alive, and their bank balance looking a bit healthier as a result. Yeah,
great restraint there from Alige, just being able to get out of window room, make sure he doesn't get killed by any pistols at close range, and he gets the information off, allows Nitro to position himself underneath the balcony and be able to fight those pistols at range while JDM covers his ramp. And just, you know, great teamwork across the board there for Liquid to make sure that what could have been kind of a sticky situation still turns in their favor. And so now it's 5-8, but Cloud9 back onto a bye. Though Stewie going to be just with the Galil and Skadoodle without an op in his hands, and now they're going to go back to one of these 1-4 type executes where nothing is going to do his normal route here, but everyone else is waiting outside the A site. Alige and JDM pushing out middle, clearing it. Alige already backing off to connector again. and Hiko getting aggressive as well in Upper B apartments. So there's going to be a lot of flanking and such going on, but there's going to be this little small window where A's a bit vulnerable, and so Cloud9 might be able to use that to execute the site.
Yeah, I feel Nitro may play a pivotal part of this round for the CTs. He just has to hold form for now, hold formation. That being said, though, Stewie2K is on the prowl. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a molly go into shadow. Actually, it won't do. But Nitro pulls out his flash at the worst possible moment. He gets picked off. A 1-for-1 trade that opens up A nicely, but Team Liquid could just set up for the retake. The fact that Pimp has landed the touchdown onto Stewie makes that endeavour that much easier. Nearly lands a shot to Skadoodle, who goes for the plant. Shroud just about survived by the skin of his teeth, and somehow Skadoodle's still alive. Just next to Firebox. Here come the nades, raining down, forcing him out of position, out into the open. But there's the first crack. Skadoodle looking for a second one, can't get the spray on point, and Pimp will pick up his third. Nice hold by Liquid. Another plant will allow Cloud9 a relatively okay buy in the last round of the half.
Yeah, you got a little bit worried there when Nitro gets caught with a nade out in his hands. Looked like maybe Cloud9 were going to make something happen, but the ops of Liquid come through. Pimp with 2, JDM with 1. And just being able to retake once more. Again, Liquid finally starting to get the better end of these kind of small number situations. And they're going to go to a triple op. Nitro has an M4 as well, but going to have the op to scope things out initially. Why not? Plenty of money, only a couple of rounds left in the half.
Going for it. Go for broke, ultimately. On Cloud9, want to take as much of a lead going through into the second half as possible. And right now, Liquid have lost 2 players, and 2 pretty key players at that. They have 2 ops in play still. JDM is wielding one of them on CT, and he's about to be joined by Hiko. And the meanwhile, Pimp is making a move through shop. He's got picked off, so it's very much a one-dimensional retake as Sweet2K is waiting for the flashbang, and the first frag to exchange another one yet, but Hiko stands tall. Picks up the revenge kill. But now 4 players to find. He's smoking his way out for now, telegraphing his location, however. He'll get tapped up through the smoke shortly. Next frag goes his way, somehow, some way. He has fallen, or failed to get fallen, and will give nothing to kill at the end. But a bit of an anticlimactic end, and Liquid will concede.
Yeah, I mean, at least you see Cloud9 get one more in there at the very end. You know, they were starting to lose a lot of their aim battles. I mean, again, they weren't doing anything too complex. They were just, you know, doing either like a slow default and just working, you know, A splits from it, or they were doing these really heavy 1-4 executes. And this time around, they just outfragged their opponents, right? I mean, Nitro and Elige went down pretty rapidly, not getting any picks, and it just gave Cloud9 such an advantage to go ahead and secure the round, so they will get that 9th one on the board going to the pistol round in the second half. And if they can take this pistol, they'll set themselves up, you know, real well to perhaps still take this map away from Liquid, despite the fact that that half turned out to be, you know, pretty close. I mean, Liquid had a nice little 4-round winning streak going on there to get back into the game, despite the huge start from Cloud9. I believe at one point they were up like 8-2 or something like that. So it was looking a little bit scary, but Liquid get themselves back in striking distance. But, I mean, Cloud9 are so well known for their CT side, so that really has been kind of the platform at which they've built their success on, has been able to just spread out the firepower on the CT side and delivers, you know, many rounds. And so, I mean, Liquid, they're going to be up against one of the toughest defenses you can play against in this region.
So apparently, been informed that my mic is way quieter than Dust's is, so I don't know if we can boost that somehow, Dima, or yeah. What
there you go.
About that.
Pass that on to the producer. Thanks, guys, for the feedback, by the way. We'll definitely try to get everything sorted out.
I don't think it's on my end, because I'm sure you can hear me just fine, Dust, right?
Yep, you're good. We'll get it sorted out, but we're just waiting on one more player to ready up here between Liquid and Cloud9, and it looks like he did just ready on up, so we should be seeing the LO3 any moment now for the second half of this game, as this is, again, the grand finals of the CyberPowerPC Summer 2016 Pro Series. Both these teams have been kind of tearing their way through the bracket up until this moment. Let's see who is going to be on top, and this sets up some really cool storylines because, you know, we've been seeing all these roster shuffles happen. We're starting to finally see some on play in the NA scene again after a little bit of a break. We have our first, like, really big LAN with all the North American teams next week in Toronto, so, you know, it's really kind of cool to kind of see who's sitting where when they go into that event.
We shall have to see, but the second half has commenced. Cloud9 now find themselves on the CT side as they're looking to defend against this B push. Unbeknownst to them, Liquid are starting to move into formation. Smokes and flashes about to rip on through to B. Elige is going to take a point with the block. First kill will go the way of Cloud9, but there are subsequent kills to Elige, and there's Shroud with another 2. He's picked up 3 so far. He's on for the ace. He's in the right position as well to really be a pain in the backside of the terrorists. They have to get rid of him, but in every second that he's alive, it's allowing more time for the rest of the counter-terrorists to get into position and just lock it off. Dewey 2K with the final 2 frags, full house of kills, and Cloud9 secure the second pistol in style.
Yep, you know, Stewie just clicks his mouse 3 times, gets 2 headshots, ends the round. No big deal. Also, you gotta give the props to Shroud, though. Those opening 3 kills, just being a brick wall to that attack from Liquid, putting them to an absolute standstill as they were pouring out the apartments. Shroud's been playing that position quite well, as they pretty much kept their CT positions the exact same, simply automatic kind of taking over the slummy spot on the catwalk. So the point with that is everyone, you know, going to be fairly comfortable with where they're playing, as they've been doing it for quite some time. And now Liquid, without any type of bomb plan in the round, will just force up with Tech 9s and armor. And it looks like they're going to try the exact same thing for the most part.
Yep, looks like we're going to have a rinse and repeat. No, why the hell not? It worked last time. However, Automatic is in the right place at the right time. 3 players sprayed out, make it a 4th, and Shroud the only player to get himself a kill. Over then Automatic, great hold. Liquid right back to the drawing boards. Will be an eco.
Yeah, so this should be the one where they lighten up a little bit and just take more of a save rather than, you know, forcing any upgraded pistols and such. Make sure they get that full buy in the next round, which means that Cloud9 have basically been able to double their lead coming from the first half to now, unless somehow some Glocks and a P250 make something happen, but of course not very likely. Skadul already spotting out several players here out in middle.
The early nade damage, though, is real. Nitro down to 7, Pimp 45. And dinks are being exchanged. I think Automatic ate one, but it was from a Glock, so not too much damage overall. Pimp will get picked off round the back. There's nothing with 2. Shui with 2 of his own, and for the second time, we'll have a full house of frags. You look at the kill dispersal on Cloud9, everyone chiming in with 10 plus frags, whereas Elige currently on 7, and he's a player that, from Liquid's perspective, you expect to be doing quite a bit better than just 7 kills here.
Here's going to be the real test here to see if Liquid can start getting back into this game. You know, you lose a couple of more rounds, all of a sudden Cloud9 are looking like they're going to get a massive victory. You can see that they've just been very conservative on what they've bought. They're keeping SMGs in play. Pimp here, able to find the kill there onto Automatic. So a good pick from him, but we're going to see some aggression now from Sui2K. He wants to try to even the odds here. Not going to push too far, though. Pimp still holding the angle. Stewie content just to kind of sit around and wait it out a bit longer. Meanwhile, they're coming up catwalk and getting control of ladder room here on Liquid, so they're getting a lot of map control right now.
Oh, nice shot. JDM opens up B nicely. There is still 2 players here. Noodle. And Shui, he's going to wait. He's going to bide his time. He's going to try and wait for the right moment to strike. And the fact that Pimp randomly turns around, throws a wrench in the works. You can see what he was looking for there. Try and line up 2 or 3 players in quick succession, but instead, it will be a shutout for Liquid. Finally back on the board for the first time in a little while now.
Yeah, so the decision to just kind of hold on to SMGs kind of backfired there a little bit. Just Liquid being able to storm up the catwalk and pop flash their way in. Pretty clean victory. They lost 1 player on the round, so it's going to be 7-12, and now Liquid will face a fully decked out Cloud9. Double op already here, this time Automatic with the second op, so that's a little bit uncommon. Normally it's either Stewie or Shroud who usually takes up the second op, but Automatic does play the catwalk position, so I guess it does make a bit of sense seeing as where they have the op bet that he would take it. Meanwhile, Stewie has already found JDM.
Yeah, JDM dead as well. He was the guy that opened up the frag onto B last time around, so he's a pretty important player. And he is currently top fragging for Liquid, so that's a big scalp to take. Double ops for Cloud9, Automatic and Skadoodle. As Shui decides to keep the M4 this round instead. See what Liquid are looking for to try and wrap themselves back towards the B side of the map. Pimp currently in B apps as a Incendiary lands next to him. It's going to stave the force for now.
And look at this early rotate they're going to get thanks to Stewie being able to push out Palace and get into Terrace spawn. They're going to be so well set up for this on the defense side.
Skadoodle and Shroud though with kills. Nitro and Hiko, what can you get done? Automatic's watching the cross. Surely Liquid have nothing to offer. What a shot from Hiko though. Still 4 players to try and take down in very good positions. Super close. Hiko's going to go for a second frag, looking to transfer spray, but gets shut down by Skadoodle. Now Nitro still not entirely sure where the remaining CTs are. He thinks that someone may be in B apps and short. That's not the case. They're all coming from kitchen. And just too many bullets to deal with. Nothing is the player to round it off. So Cloud9 move to a brisk 13th round now.
And now Liquid are a little bit low on funds. You can see Legion only at 1,800. JDM also quite low. Really only Nitro and Hiko have a whole lot of money. So they're going to, of course, just get some upgraded pistols here. Not buy too heavy-handed. They want to make sure they have a nice full buy next round that can test Cloud9 as they go from that point. So we're going to see Liquid setting up in a little bit of a 1-4. Just sending Nitro alone over here at middle with this P250. Everyone else, though, lining up in Palace to waterfall out. But Stewie's just waiting for this.
You can see the 3-player stack as well for Cloud9 on A. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath. There's Stewie, 2 frags. JDM answers back, but now it's nothing to step up and get kills of his own. Getting the frags on the board. Actually runs out of bullets. That's going to cost him his life to the hands of Nitro. He himself gets taken down. Skadoodle, what is that? Looking for the next shot. Nico then get picked off. And unsurprisingly, Cloud9 extend their lead. 2 rounds away from this first map under their belt.
It seemed like a close game for a little while there towards the end of the first half, but now Cloud9 have won 5 of the 6 rounds we've played this far. They lost the opening gun round, but since then reset Liquid's economy, and they've won 2 in a row. And as you noted, they're just a couple of rounds away from taking this map away. Remember, this was Liquid's pick, a map they've looked quite good on, and a map that Cloud9 hasn't played a whole heck of a lot. So it seemed to be like one of the maps that Liquid might be able to best Cloud9 on, but right now they're having a hard time figuring it out as, again, Cloud9 playing so well across the board. Automatic continuing to be a great picker for this team. Stewie, Skadoodle having good games as well. Lige, you can see, having a tough time there. Normally don't see him down there.
So clearly Liquid having a big discussion amongst themselves. Where would you say has been the main issue so far, Dust, from watching this? I mean, it just seems like they've been outclassed across the board, but where's that potential weakness, do you think, on Cloud9 CT side?
They haven't really shown much of one, is really the problem, I think. I mean, everyone's been holding their spot down pretty well. You know, Liquid, their entry fraggers aren't really picking up too much here. I mean, Elise just had a little bit of a tough time this game. We talked about that already. You know, I haven't really seen JDM. I don't even know if JDM's had an op yet this game. On the Terrace side, rather. I don't know that he's had one yet, and he won't get one here either. So, and that's also a really big tool that they have to open things up, and they haven't had them.
I think he's had it one time, which is the round that they won. He got
Okay.
the opening pick onto the B site, so it just kind of highlights what you're saying, that without an AWP, they do definitely lack that X factor, you know, to get onto the site with. And I think he got the opening pick, they took B site, then the next round he was the first player to die, and they just kind of went out with a whimper. So he's been of massive importance to Liquid, and if he goes down, they definitely do struggle. No AWP in this round, got an AK instead. And it looks as though mid is going to be the angle of attack for now. Well, they have 2 players that will be filtering out. Pimp's going to be going towards underpass, and meanwhile, Hiko's lurking in Palace, and JDM's going to get the first frag. Maybe he doesn't require an AWP to have a big effect, but Shroud with 3 M4 frags just takes the round away, snatching it from the grasp of Liquid. After that timeout, the thing they desperately didn't want is Shroud to step up, and that's exactly what's happened. But keep into consideration, there's 3-on-2, and Shroud's down to 25. So Liquid are still in this round.
Indeed they are, but it's going to be so hard to get this bomb back. It's sitting at the top of middle. Everyone is here. Pip is in Upper B apartments. He goes in Palace. maybe eventually you blindside someone, but as you see Cloud9 take position here, they're limiting what they have to worry about, right? You just need to have someone kind of make sure no one's coming through T-spawn to flank you top middle, and then at that point, you got Skadoodle, he's able to hold catwalk basically from the chair position, and then you have Shroud who could, watch connector and such from the back of the catwalk. So, I mean, they pretty much have all angles covered, which essentially means that Pimp and Hiko just have to hit some really insane shots, win some key one-on-one duels or something to get this bomb back. And on top of all that, they're running out of time. Even if they win a fight and get the bomb, are they going to be able to get to a site and planet in time is the question.
It's certainly the question that will be in the back of their minds. But Hiko, 20 seconds left, has to try and make a play out of nothing. Player on boxes, Skadoodle, close angle, very intelligent. Cloud9 double peeking. Hiko no chance of getting both at the same time, and time itself was ticking against him. So Cloud9, 8 map points.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just liquid opening default, as standard as it gets. Hiko always playing A, Pimp taking up the upper B position, and they just can't even handle Cloud9's aggression at middle to get control of it and work something off their default. And now they're stuck with just Tech9s and head armor to try to, run the board 8 rounds to get into an overtime situation. So, I mean, again, it's just been Cloud9 so dominant in the NA scene lately, and on this CT side, they've just been absolutely shutting Liquid down. And it's all come to this.
The desperate Tech9 forced by push. Lots of grenades. They've been spotted. Stewie 2K's eaten so much damage, but still alive for a few more moments. Automatic's going to be the first player to fall for the C team. There's nothing with a quick fire double. He sprayed through the smoke as well. Leash may get this bomb planted, but he's going to be all alone. Once he comes down to the smoke, in actual fact, he's not going to get out of the smoke. He gets shut down beforehand, and Cloud9 with a very confident 16-7 first map victory. A map that we both thought that Liquids